Hey Cowboys Nation, welcome back. It's been a tough season for us Dallas fans, and I know you're all feeling it. Here on the channel, we're always working to bring you the latest news and updates about our Cowboys, and today's topic is one that's on everyone's mind. If you're tired of the ups and downs, make sure to hit that like button, and if you're new here, subscribe to stay connected with the latest news from the team. Alright, let's dive into it. After a solid 12-5 finish last year, the Cowboys came into the 2024 season with high hopes. We were all set to make a deep playoff run, but with our team sitting at 3-5, those dreams are slipping away. And fans are starting to ask, is Jerry Jones playing mind games with us? Let's break down what's going on, what Jerry's been saying, and what this could mean for the future. It's no secret the Cowboys are struggling. After a promising offseason filled with all-in talk from Jerry Jones himself, the team's slow start has been a hard pill to swallow. Many fans feel misled, especially when we remember Jerry's bold off-season statements. He assured us this team was ready to compete, and yet here we are, possibly staring at a high draft pick instead of a Super Bowl run. If we're being honest, this situation hurts even more because of Jerry's high expectations. His comments seem to set us up for a Super Bowl run, not a fight to keep our record from dipping any further. Now, with both offensive and defensive issues, fans are starting to wonder if Jones has been stoking false hope, feeding us just enough optimism to keep us watching. One of the more baffling statements Jerry's made recently is about head coach Mike McCarthy. When asked about his confidence in McCarthy, Jerry replied, "I'm good with Mike. I know how hard he works. I like his football mind. He's really good with the players. They think highly of him. He's got a lot of fire in his belly, just like some of the best coaches I've been around." At face value, it seems like a supportive statement, right? But when you dig a little deeper, you can't help but wonder if this is just Jerry trying to buy more time. Maybe he's trying to boost McCarthy's confidence in hopes of a miraculous turnaround. Or maybe, and this is what many fans are thinking, he's using McCarthy's resilience as an excuse to keep him around despite the mounting losses. It's hard not to feel like this is just another example of Jerry's way of deflecting responsibility, putting the focus on McCarthy's past success rather than addressing the present issues head-on. This brings us to the big question: is Jerry Jones gaslighting Cowboys fans? Gaslighting, as you know, means manipulating someone into questioning their reality. And for some fans, that's exactly what it feels like. Instead of addressing the very real problems on this team, Jerry keeps focusing on hypothetical turnarounds, past achievements, and what could be if only a few things go right. Take the way he's portrayed the off-season moves. Instead of acknowledging the need for a major rebuild or a shift in strategy, he doubled down on the idea that the team was all in. Now, with injuries piling up and our record looking grim, it feels like we're left holding the bag, wondering if we ever had a real shot this season at all. And, as if things weren't complicated enough, the Cowboys were hit with another major blow: Dak Prescott's injury. The quarterback went down with a hamstring issue against the Falcons, leaving the team's offense in an even rougher spot. Dak's injury is a tough one, as he's the heart of the team's passing game and was one of the few remaining hopes for offensive improvement. With Dak out, we've been leaning heavily on our star receiver, CeeDee Lamb. Last week, Lamb had 7 catches for 47 yards, even though he was dealing with a shoulder issue of his own. He's been a consistent performer, but without Dak, it's hard to see how much more he can do. Over the past 3 games, Lamb has racked up 28 catches, but with a backup quarterback in the mix, the question is, will he be able to keep up that level of production? Here's where things get interesting. We know that Lamb and backup quarterback Cooper Rush have had some good games together in the past. Last season, in Week 3, Lamb caught 8 of 12 targets from Rush for 87 yards and a touchdown. In Week 4, he followed that up with 6 catches for 97 yards and another touchdown. So, while losing Dak is a massive setback, there's some hope that Rush and Lamb can recapture that chemistry. For fantasy football fans, Lamb remains a must-start. His talent alone makes him too valuable to bench, even if the Cowboys' offense is struggling. But will that be enough for the Cowboys to win games? That's the real question here. Injuries have plagued this team, no doubt. While CeeDee Lamb's shoulder issue seems to be manageable, he was a full participant in practice and wasn't given an injury designation for the game, we're still missing key pieces on both sides of the ball. This lack of depth has been evident, and it's raising more questions about the team's preparation and adaptability. The silver lining: if Rush can step up and Lamb continues to shine, there's a slim chance we can turn things around. But it will take more than individual efforts. We need a complete team effort to salvage this season. So, where does that leave us? Jerry has made it clear that he's sticking with McCarthy, and for now, he's not hinting at any major changes. But Cowboys fans are beginning to wonder if that's just another attempt to avoid responsibility. It's almost as if Jerry wants us to believe that this season is just a minor hiccup. But as any fan can see, we have real problems on offense, defense, and in our overall strategy. These aren't issues that will simply go away with a little more time or a few small adjustments. First off, let's talk about Dak. Losing Prescott is a massive blow for the Cowboys. Not only does Dak bring stability and leadership to the offense, but he's been the backbone of this team for years. With him on injured reserve, the Cowboys' playoff hopes look even slimmer. Enter Cooper Rush, who's been named the starter, and Trey Lance, who could see some unique opportunities on the field. Fans have been buzzing about the idea of Lance stepping up in some capacity. While he's not quite ready to take on a full-time starting role, his skills are undeniable. We've seen flashes of his potential, and while his preseason was a bit rocky with some turnovers, he also brought dynamic runs and made plays with his legs that really got people talking. So, why are we talking about Trey Lance like he's the next Taysom Hill? Let's break it down. Taysom Hill, as you all know, has made a name for himself with the New Orleans Saints as a versatile player who can line up at multiple positions. He can run, pass, and even catch. While Lance may not have Hill's exact skill set, his athleticism and ability to extend plays make him a serious dual-threat option. When you look at what Lance brings to the table, speed, elusiveness, and a strong arm, it's easy to see why the Cowboys might want to use him in a variety of ways. He's faster than Hill and potentially more dangerous as a passer. Imagine a situation where defenses don't know if Lance will be running, passing, or even lining up in some unconventional package. It could add a whole new layer to the Cowboys' offensive playbook, and in a season like this one, why not get creative? Now, some fans might wonder, why not just start him? While Lance's talent is clear, he's still a work in progress. His preseason showed that he's still adjusting to the pro level, especially when it comes to ball security and decision-making. Jumping in as a starter in the middle of the season, especially with the Cowboys already in a rough spot, could hurt his development. Instead, giving him specific packages allows him to gain confidence, make plays, and get a feel for real game scenarios without the full responsibility of leading the offense. By using Lance in selective plays, the Cowboys can also keep defenses guessing. Opponents won't know if Lance is coming in for a run, a pass, or even a trick play. This approach also takes advantage of Lance's strengths without putting too much pressure on him. So, for now, Cowboys fans can look forward to seeing Lance in action without the weight of the entire game on his shoulders. Here's where it gets interesting. If you're a Cowboys fan, you know that creativity on offense can be a double-edged sword. But Lance's dual-threat ability could open up some amazing possibilities for the Cowboys. Imagine Lance lining up in short-yardage situations where he could either take off running or pass to a quick route. Or maybe we see him on a third-down play where he scrambles out of the pocket, giving his receivers more time to get open. The possibilities are endless, and each play where Lance is involved could turn into a big moment. While the Cowboys will likely start with a limited package, there's room for that package to grow as Lance gets more comfortable. The more he succeeds, the more the Cowboys can experiment with these types of plays. And who knows? We could see Trey Lance play a bigger role by season's end if he proves he can handle it. Head coach Mike McCarthy hasn't revealed too much about his plans for Lance, but he's hinted at some creative play calling. He sees Lance's potential and recognizes that the team needs a spark. In press conferences, McCarthy's focus has been on getting Lance into game situations where he can make a real impact without overloading him. The Cowboys don't want to rush his development, but they're also aware that fans are eager to see what he can do. Offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer is also on board with the idea of using Lance in a specialized role. According to insiders, Schottenheimer has been crafting some unique packages that will allow Lance to use his speed and athleticism to break down defenses in unexpected ways. The whole coaching staff knows that getting Lance involved can give this team the energy boost it so desperately needs. Let's take a quick look back at Lance's journey. Drafted 3rd overall in 2021 by the San Francisco 49ers, he was expected to be a franchise quarterback. But injuries and limited playing time kept him from developing into the starter the 49ers hoped for. When the Cowboys traded for him, Many fans saw it as a low-risk, high-reward move. Lance brings that potential and excitement that fans have been waiting for, even if he isn't quite ready to take over full-time. His story is one of resilience, and now he has a chance to prove himself in Dallas. With a 3-5 record, it's no secret that the Cowboys are in a tough spot. But one thing is clear: Cowboys Nation hasn't given up hope. There's still a belief that this team can turn things around, and if Lance can contribute in a meaningful way, he could be part of that shift. Even if the playoffs are out of reach, fans are excited to see Lance's potential and to witness the beginning of what could be a bright future for him in Dallas. If this season doesn't turn around, the Cowboys will be in a prime position for the 2025 draft. And while it's hard to look too far ahead, the idea of adding more talent to this team has to be on Jerry Jones' mind. But for now, the focus is on the present and making the most of what we have, and that includes Trey Lance. For some fans, the answer is clear: it's time to start looking at the draft and planning for the future. But for others, there's still hope that the team can pull together and make a run at the playoffs. What about you, Cowboys Nation? Do you still believe in Jerry's vision, or do you feel like we're being led down the wrong path? Are you holding on to hope that we can turn things around, or do you think it's time to start planning for next season? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And, as always, if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any Cowboys updates. Thanks for tuning in, and here's hoping we can see a stronger, more resilient Cowboys team in the coming weeks. Let's keep the faith, Cowboys Nation. Go Cowboys!